Why hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today I'm going to make an updated video for you guys real quick about virtues and traits, okay? So this is a really important thing if you're a new player. There's a lot of confusion, so I'll get off right off the bat here for you guys. There's a thing where you get XP for virtues, and you also get XP for leveling up. These are two separate things that I hear is, for new players, is mixed up a lot, which I completely understand why people get mixed up, because they're both called experience. Just one is for virtues, okay, and traits, and the other one is virtue XP for traits, okay? Don't get that confused. Virtue traits is what the actual thing is called. What we're talking about today is virtue traits. That's going to be the guide video today for a LOTRO guide. And then, of course, you get XP for your character as you level up, right? So if you ever get one of these in your inventory and it says 20 Virtue XP, this XP goes to the XP bar of whichever one you are earning at that moment. Now, you may be a little bit confused, like, well, how do I earn Virtue XP compared to regular XP? Well, regular XP should be pretty self-explanatory. You kill mobs or you do quests, and other things will give you end deeds, and things will give you XP as you do stuff, right? That's pretty simple. It's the XP bar at the bottom. I'm max level, so mine's just grayed out at the very bottom of the screen. But so we're going to be focusing right now mainly on virtue XP. All right, that's going to be the goal of this video. So when you're earning virtues as you go, a big part to earn virtues is doing deeds, okay? So one way to get virtue XP, okay, when I say XP for the rest of this video, just know I'm talking about virtue XP, not regular experience, okay? All right, now that get that out so no one gets confused. When you go into your deed log, deeds are something, I have a whole separate video on deeds on the guide playlist here if you want to know more about that. But just know they're things to kill, you know, its objectives in certain regions of the world. So like, for example, Eriador in Breland. I can find all these certain items, right? It gives me a deed, and look at that. Look what it says at the bottom right here. So it gives you some different earnings there in the deeds, but the one we care about for this video is this one, 2,000 virtue experience, okay? So that is what you're looking for. To earn without just, if you're just free to play and you're not getting anything else, or you will occasionally get these little pots, little virtue XP things, so you can right click, and if you notice right here, I will show you in a second, I'm earning towards a certain virtue right now, okay? So, guy just walked in front of me, I don't go like this. The big thing is, so let's not get off track here for you guys, all right? I want to make this video not very long for you so you can just understand it. Each virtue, we could go through each one if you wanted to, but if you hover a virtue, it'll explain it right here. It pops up right there, see, as you can see. Again, deeds, you can watch my whole deed video on it, but you're looking for ones that give a reward of a virtue XP. That's a big way to get your virtues up quickly, all right? There's some other ways too. There's virtue accelerators, right, that you can get, which basically means whenever you earn some, it's like doubled, depending on how much virtue accelerator XP. So right now I have a bonus of 3,800. That's what my virtue XP has, that little purple bar, okay? But the real bar to level up your virtues are these bars here. Now, don't get too confused with this page. How do you get to this page? That's probably a good question to answer real quick. It's the little Gandalf right down there. Right there next to the sword right here. You can see my mouse moving down there. You can also go, and you can always do, to find the virtues, you can also go to here. It's J for traits. All right, so you click J on the keyboard, or you can click the little Gandalf down here, and this will pop up. You'll probably be on your class tree points. Go down to the third tab on the left, okay? That's your virtues, all right? That's how you get to it. I should have said it at the beginning, excuse me. So now that while you're earning, you're gonna have spots, they will open up as you level up. To have 5, you can choose 5 at once, to have 5 on at once. So you're really gonna wanna focus on 5 main ones for your character. You don't really need to switch them a lot. Some people want to be like, oh, well, do I need to switch them? No, it really comes down to your class, okay? So it matters what class you have. And this is important because when you're in your character tab, right, C, you can click C to go to it. Go to your, if you're curious real quick, just so you don't have to go watch my other video on it, if you go and just hover your stats, whichever stats say as a, whatever your class is, for me it's a guardian right now, vitality is very important to you. If it says that line in it is very important to you, if you notice, only might and vitality are the ones that say that for a guardian. It's different for other classes, okay? But that's the stats you want to focus on getting for your class, okay? It doesn't matter what your trait, like which trait tree you're in, it doesn't matter, don't freak out over that. Just know you need to focus those 2 stats as the most stats, right? You could get some of the other ones, but those are the ones you need to focus. So for me, as a guardian, I want might and vitality, right? So now what I do is I go through and I hover all these, and it says right there, you see this little thing pops up here, right? Boop, there it is. It's very small, I know. But again, for example, discipline, right? Gives you 100 certain amount of resistance rating, a certain amount of incoming healing, and physical mitigation, okay? Those are good, right? Again, these are very important. Virtues are very important. They're helping your base stats along with your armor, right? Or whatever your armor or jewelry gives as stats, right, as your character. So these are very important to do, and a lot of new players don't know about these, and then they get into the game and they're like, oh, well, what in the world? Why am I so weak, right? It's because they're not leveling these up. They're not even, they might be leveling one up automatically, and they're just not putting it on. So again, to get in here, it's as simple as you right-click to remove, right-click the one you want to put in. So again, I can remove all these if I wanted to, right? I'm just right-clicking them, and then I can put them back if I wanted to, right? Whichever ones I want to be using at the time. To be earning a trait, when you first start, they're all going to be grayed out. They're all going to be in level 0. Now, to read this, let me explain real quick how to read it, okay? To read it, basically, the top one, this max level, see right here underneath, it has 23 out of 84, all right? So that max level part, the second part, will increase as you level your character, okay? As you level up normally with XP. That will increase. But basically, you want to keep increasing the ones you want. So as you can see here, I have a couple that are pretty much almost maxed. I got a couple things to level up, so I need to level these up 2 more spots. But the top one is your virtue XP needed for the next rank. Okay, so that would be from going from level 23 to 24 out of that rank. And the lower one is earned, just telling you how close you are to completing it. So as you can see here, loyalty and justice, that orange bar is almost full because it's almost fully maxed, right? It's 82, excuse me, out of 84, excuse me. Doing a little flip there. But yeah, so it's really simple to level them up. All you do is you left click on, right now this one is leveling up, right? So to move it around, you simply need to left click on the icon next to it. So I want to be learning empathy. Now I'll be learning empathy, right? And why does this matter? Because whenever you complete a deed, okay, that virtue XP immediately gets put to whatever virtue you are selected on earning, okay? You can't take it back. Unless, of course, it's an item and you can use it whenever. But again, once I right-click this item and use it in my inventory, it's going to go to whichever one is being earned at that moment, okay? So I don't want it to be earning empathy. I want it to be earning, let's say, justice, all right? So I'm going to left-click on justice. Now it's earning. And when I right-click on this virtue thing, watch the little bar right here, right? Boop. You see a tiny little increase, right? Now, again, I need 2,260 to get to the next rank because this is a very high level of the virtue, okay? And every time it increases the stuff, okay? Again, you can, again, read it there. It gives you the bonuses, right? So mine is rank 82. It gives me 28,000, excuse me, something in combat moral regen. We won't say the exact numbers. 10,000 maximum morale. It gives me an extra bonus at the bottom there of 3,000 more morale, and it also gives me tactical mitigation, which basically protects me against magic damage or poison or fire and things like that. So very good for a guardian. Again, I want max morale, so it's a great one. Again, like determination. Now, determination I'm using because I like the physical mastery rating, okay, and the critical rating. It's fun when you're in DPS mode as a guardian. Now, if I was going to go full tank mode, physical mastery rating is still good. Agility is still good. But for me, I probably want to look for one that has more vitality or physical defense or tactical mitigation or armor value. Like, for example, empathy here. Critical defense, so if I get crit, it lowers the damage from that. Armor value, I get more armor resistance, that kind of stuff, okay? Well, that's a stat thing. You can go watch my stat video on that. But anyway, it's important to know that, though. So again, to kind of go over it, to finish up the video for you guys, hopefully this did help. If it does help, don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can join our kinship here on CrickHollow. Don't forget. We also have Discord. If you want to check out my live streams, I'll have a link in all the Discord to join the Discord and stuff. But anyway, we'll be going through more and more stuff, but this is the things you need to know how to do the virtue traits, okay? So virtues, again, are very important. I highly recommend you do virtues as you go, okay? So don't wait to do these. Make sure while you're leveling, you find the one you want, left-click it to be earning it, and then even if you don't have the other ones, you only have one slot, let's say, or not even a slot yet, just make sure you're earning. And then as you're doing quests and as you're doing deeds, there's two difference between deed and a quest, right? They will be giving you virtue XP. Some quests don't give virtue XP. Remember, quests give usually regular XP only. So usually you'll be in the background not even realizing that you're completing deeds, okay? So for example, in Breland, there's a deed where you have to do a certain amount of quests, and that gets you virtue XP. So as you're leveling up doing quests for levels for your character, right, down at the bottom, you're also getting virtue XP, and you might not even realize, and suddenly it'll say deed completed, and a little message will pop up, and you're like, oh, and it immediately took that reward and put it into your virtue XP and gave you a title or whatever, okay? So that's why you need to be clicked on the right one to be earning it. So make sure you look at the stats you want ahead of time. What are you going to be doing, right? Again, there is some changes. Occasionally you'll want to change. Like I said at the beginning, I don't want to mislead you from the beginning part. There is some change that will matter, right? So like if I'm doing full DPS, I might want more physical mastery rating and crit chance, like I do with determination or agility. Again, agility is not a main stat for guardians. It's more a main stat for burglars or hunters. So a very good one, by the way, for burglars or hunters. Determination's a very good one for you guys. And then the other, I would want to flip probably to a more defensive one if I was going full tank mode for Guardian, because Guardian is one of the main tanks in LOTRO. So yeah, that's about it for the virtues. I hope that helps you guys out. I try to make that very precise within a certain time period. Time allotment, so that you guys can easily follow that. I'm trying to make sure I have a good balance of talking speedily but not too fast, because I have both crowds. Some people are like, oh, it's too slow. Some people are like, it's too fast. So hopefully that was enough where you could follow really well, and for the guide video, and you can follow along and pause in between as you go. But yeah, so make sure you're choosing as you go. These will open up as you level up. And do remember, this is very important to finish up the video, guys. You have 2 slots, so if you want to, excuse me, that might be, that's a trait one, so excuse that, don't worry about that one. It does switch this too. So you have these 2 things over here, by the way, that you can name, and basically what happens with those is you can set, this is important, it's kind of connected to the class traits. You can set up your whichever tree you want from your class and whatever tree you want from here, and I believe race ones if you switch them. You probably also link to them, which they don't matter as much at this moment in time. But then you could switch between the 2 automatically without having to go in here and switch everything. So it's very nice to have an extra one of these. Sometimes you can buy a 3rd one from the store. I'm not sure if you have to buy the 2nd one. I don't remember if I did. You might have to get it from the LOTRO store. But again, when you're doing deeds, you earn LOTRO coins, okay? They'll use in the LOTRO store as well. Or if you're VIP, you get 500 a month. So remember that. Yeah. So anyway, it's nice that you can kind of switch between those. So you can kind of switch. I have my DPS one. Forgot I already set it up. You can switch between on this right side. So just keep that in mind too. That's for both the class traits and virtue traits. Don't get confused. There's race traits, class traits, virtue traits. We're talking about virtue traits today. They're the real big important one, and class ones are also important as you go, putting points into that, whichever one you're trading into trait. Race ones, there's some cool ones, but really only 1 or 2 are super important, I would say. But again, I have a video on that separately. So hopefully that helped you guys out. We did that in under 15 minutes. Wahaha, excellent. And hopefully this is a nice little updated video for you guys from my older one. So you guys have a great day in Middle-earth, my friends. Thank you to my wonderful Patreons for their support. Subscribe on Zero if I earned it. Next episode's up there for guides, and a LOTRO tale, my voiceovers, and over there, entertainment content on the other side, okay? All right, you guys have a great day in Middle-earth, and please always feel free to leave a comment if you have a question or feel like you were a little lost on something. I would be happy to add some extra comments. So you guys have a great day in Middle-earth. I'll see you all in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings, and stay happy in Middle-earth, my friends. See ya.